Yeah, we teed off at 8:07, something like that.
Please join me in welcoming world number 2, Nelly Korda. Nelly, I know this was your first time playing. Based on what you saw on TV and expectation, just talk about what the course was like for you.
Amazing. The views on every hole, I feel like you get to a hole and you're like, this is my favorite view, and then you get to another hole and I'm like, no, this is actually my favorite view. So very scenic, amazing golf course, so much history, and so grateful to be out here.
We're going to open it up to questions, and we've got Joey here with the mic. Beth Ann?
So I guess then what is your favorite hole? You've seen them all.
All of them. I like them all. I mean, 18's incredible. Kind of seeing it for the first time, Tiger hit that shot around the tree. And then obviously number 7 too, the par 3. Actually, I almost made a hole-in-one there. Landed. I haven't made a hole-in-one since I was I think 11, but I was over it and I was like, hole-in-one. It would be 1 for 1. It landed probably an inch away from the cup.
Wow.
Yeah.
What'd you hit?
A pitching wedge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just describe what you think will be the most challenging aspect.
I think all of it. It's pretty crucial to obviously hit it's a major championship. It's crucial to hit the fairways. The rough is pretty thick in some areas. It's a little bare in others. Knowing where to miss is proper to be around the golf course where you don't short side yourself. I think that's very crucial around here too, is just knowing where to miss, which is hard. You're like, obviously you're trying to hit it, be aggressive and play really well, but when you're just not on top of it, you can't pick where you miss. So being lucky, I think that all kind of needs to come together. But I mean, probably the smallest greens I've ever seen. It's an amazing golf course. I mean, I think every part of your game has to really click.
You can pass it left to Ron.
You mentioned the small greens, and that always comes up when the men play opens here, that it's so unusual compared to other elite courses. How much different is it, and how does that affect just sort of your thinking as you're standing over an approach shot?
Well, we played Baltusrol, and those were probably some of the biggest greens, and then you go to Pebble, and these are probably one of the smallest greens. I think you just have to really dial in. I mean, you have to really concentrate out here, especially with the bouncy Poe. You don't know what kind of first bounce you're going to get, so just making sure that you're taking your time over every shot, being very diligent with your routine and just with the process with your caddy to making sure that you talk over every part of every hole.
Just one follow-up. Of all the holes you saw today for the first time, which green seemed the smallest and was sort of the most difficult to hit?
There was one kind of diabolical green on the back 9, a par 5. That one was especially coming in. I mean, it's not reachable for us unless it's moved up. And then with a wedge, you can easily spin it. And that left side, I mean, it's pretty narrow. So I think that's going to be a really, really hard green. But, I mean, honestly, all of them. I mean, if you're not striking it well and you're coming in from the rough, it's going to be super tough. And if you're coming in with long irons, too, on the bouncy Poe, I mean, it's not like Baltusrol where you can run it up. I feel like here you're actually going to have to fly it onto the greens properly, and they're small, too. So,
Doug?
A couple things, Nelly. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when people say Pebble Beach?
I would say scenic. I mean, the views out here are impeccable. Some of the biggest houses I've ever seen, too. It's a little bit distracting being on the golf course and looking at all the properties here.
What tournament do you think of?
What tournament do I think of? I don't think I can think of any tournament.
Something tells me you don't watch a lot of golf on TV.
Not really, actually. Yeah, you're right. I don't really think of any golf course. I don't think you can compare this golf course to any tournament. I mean, it's Pebble, right? Now I understand it, not playing it for the first time.
Is it, and in your own words, how would you put how meaningful it is that after all these years that the Women's Open is coming to a place that's so iconic in the Men's U.S. Open world?
Yeah, I mean, iconic, right? It's amazing to see that, we're making these massive strides forward, not only with the increase in purses, but the venues we get to play, the rich history that we just get to be a part of. I think, that's our little piece of history as well.
The last one for me was, being the adventurer that you are, did you at all go to the edge of the cliff on 8, or did you just...
No, I looked to the
left.
side and I was like, oh my God, Jordan was crazy. Yeah. And I saw that they actually grew out the grass there, and I was like, oh, that's probably because of him.
Kent?
I know we've been talking a lot about the challenges of the course. How would you describe the challenge that Pebble presents relative to other major courses the LPGA plays?
I think obviously the weather, just being here on the coast, adjustment of yardages, it doesn't fly as far typically. And then I would say just the slope. I mean, I had so many shots where the ball was below my feet, above my feet, and then on top of that, you're hitting into small greens. So you have to adjust with the slope and hit the green at the end of the day. So, and Poana greens. I mean, if you're at the end of the day, those greens do get bumpy. So making sure that you stay patient is going to be very crucial this week.
Talking about learning the course, was there any research you did before getting to Pebble, and then what have you learned since playing about the track?
Not much. I know my caddy did. He talked to a couple people. For me, I don't really want to know too much about a golf course until I'm out here and I can learn it myself, because maybe they process their information differently to what I process, and I see the golf course a little differently. So I don't like a lot of opinions before I get to see it myself.
And what's the most challenging hole for you out here?
I'll tell you on Thursday. I think they all have. They're all tough in their own way. If it's a tee shot, if it's a green, I mean, they're all such great holes. I mean, you can't just I love 7. I think it was really cool. Actually on, I played 7 on EA Sports. That was the one hole my brother and we always played Pebble. I don't know what it was. I don't think it was PGA back in the day. Tour, the Tiger, maybe it was Tiger Woods. Yeah, we used to always play Pebble, and my favorite hole was always 7 on that game. Oh my gosh, so long ago.
Just a couple more back left right here.
Awesome. And you were talking about playing this for the first time. What type of adjustments do you feel that you're going to have to make, especially after practicing this round?
Adjustments, I think, more of figuring out your yardages. They definitely do fly from the air is a little heavier here, so I would say my balls are probably flying close to 7 to 10 yards shorter, depending obviously on the wind as well. So adjusting to that, adjusting to the weather, and then the slopes. I mean, you're going to be hitting a lot of shots with the ball below your feet and ball above your feet.
Awesome. And just how are we feeling physically coming into this week?
Good. Yeah, I feel really good. So
Two more, Ron and then Beth Ann.
Are your parents here this week?
they're coming in tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're super excited.
And my apologies, I'm sure you've been asked this over the years, but how that sort of shaped you, the competitiveness of being in a family with 2 athletes as parents and now siblings also. I mean, how your brother and you and your brother sort of feed off each other. And
yeah, when we played Monopoly as a family, it got really heated. We're definitely very competitive, but very close. We've always said that we wouldn't be where we are without all of us, each other, and our parents, the guidance that they've given us. I think for us, we're super grateful for all of that, and yeah, I mean, they're still our go-tos. Even my sister and my brother, they're the first people to message me, and vice versa, and we're always there for each other.
And did you play much tennis growing up? And how did does their experience sort of translate in that competitiveness, or how does the tennis background sort of spill over to golf?
I think it's just more of like an individual sport. I think that's what kind of helps, like the mindset of it. My dad is actually really, really talented. He was a scratch handicap when he stopped playing tennis, and it was a sport where we could all play together, all be together as a family. Tennis is just so one-on-one that when my dad stopped playing, it was they loved that we were all outside together and spending time as a family.
Can you just tell us a little bit about your mindset leaving Baltusrol and what you worked on when you got home?
Yeah, obviously, pretty disappointed. Flew out on Friday, right after the round. But I think it's just golf. You constantly go through just like the roller coasters of it. I think it just makes you appreciate the highs more, I would say. But making sure that I was mentally ready and to come into this week, and I just put my head down and grinded. And I love that about golf. I think no one knows everything and no one's an expert. And I think that this is the beauty of the game, is that everyone experiences these highs and lows.
What specifically did you grind on? What did you leave Baltusrol frustrated with?
Everything. I had a two-way miss at Baltusrol, and I was not making any putts too. So I spent a lot of time on the range.
With Jason?
No, not Jason. Mm-mm.
Doug, we'll squeeze you in.
With my dad, David Whelan, and I actually a lot of help from Jamie Mulligan as well. Yeah.
A couple of things. You're feeling good, but it makes me wonder, have you been able to establish any kind of a flow of tournament golf, given what seems like a stop-and-start nature of last year? Where do you stand on that? Do you
Of last year?
No, of just getting back into a full stretch
flow,
flow of tournament golf that you need.
I was actually feeling really good at the beginning of the season. You know, I played a lot of golf. I did 4 weeks in a row playing Chevron, LA. I played International Crown, and then I flew straight to New Jersey. And just after that, I just didn't feel 100% with my back. Obviously, it sucks to miss a couple weeks, but health comes first from what I've learned the past couple of years. And I think it's just golf, it's sports, it's life, right? You just got to adapt. So I took some time off, and I always give 120% whenever I'm out here. So. And
then something you touched on a minute ago about the prestige. Money's great, and the purses are fantastic. Yeah. How do you differentiate the value of big money and big courses? Which is more valuable to the?
I don't play this for money. I play it because I love golf.
But in terms of being in a place like Pebble and going to Chicago Golf and Pinehurst down the road, is it more important to have bigger venues in terms of bringing attention to the women's game, or is it just prize money that would excite most people except you?
I mean, it does obviously excite. I think everything comes hand in hand. I think when we get put on these incredible venues and you raise the prize money, that just raises attention. So I think everything comes hand in hand, and everything has to work together to form something beautiful. So I play golf because I obviously love it. I think me getting to do it as a job is just a plus.
Thanks for your time, Nelly.
Thank you.